Hey, how y'all doing today? It's me again, back at it out here at this park. This is Hope Park here in McDonough. It's not much here, but it's nice. I guess everybody, chilling and working or whatever, so I got a park all to myself. Yeah, I decided to come out into the nature and, just give my little lesson. It ain't little, but give my lesson out here. Today, y'all, we got a good one. We got another one. What to say? And another one. So today we gonna talk about, and I got a lot of notes too. So if you catch me looking down, whatever, it's because I'm looking at my notes. So today we gonna talk about the natural order of things, how God set things to be, and what I mean by that is, or as it pertains to the father of the house, the man of the house, or i.e. the man. Okay? So I'm gonna read two scriptures to support that, and then I'll go into the lesson. And y'all bear with me, cause I ain't got my glass. I got these shades on, but I'm gonna try to make it to read these words without my actual glasses. Okay. So at first I'm gonna come out of, and one of these scriptures is very familiar to y'all. When y'all hear me talk it, say it, y'all know. So Proverbs 22, chapter 22, verse 6. And it reads, train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he turneth not away from it. Okay? So it's the parents' responsibility to train up their child while they're young. I know some Bibles say train up a child while they're young, so he won't depart when he gets older. And that goes for women. I almost got attacked by a wasp, y'all. That goes for women and men. Train up your girls, your little girls, and your boys, your sons, right? All right, my next and final scripture would be 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. And if anyone does not provide for his own, and especially for those of his household, he has denied the beliefs and is worse than an unbeliever. All right. So yeah, it is. Now we're going to talk about, okay, so before I get into this topic here, I just want to give a brief little thing about my topic I did the other day. If you guys saw my video from the other day, I was talking about, I shared with myself and my experience growing up as a man, a gay boy, or dealing with homosexuality growing up, right? So this is my experience. My mom. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm out here in nature, and they trying to attack me. They don't want me to. They don't want this stuff to get out. This word to get out. But anyway, my mom, right? She groomed me as a child to be a homosexual, to be gay. Now, I'm not saying my mom made me gay. I'm not blaming her for that. But what happened was, somewhere in there when I was young, I'm talking about real young, the devil planted that seed in me that I'm supposed to be gay or supposed to be this homosexual. Okay, when I was young, a little kid, 3, 4 years old. So my mom, I'm gonna say, be it unbeknownst to her, she was grooming me to be gay. But then as an adult, you don't want me to be gay. Now you say, well, how did she groom you to be gay? My mom saw me as a child playing with my sisters. I got 4 sisters, but Nina wasn't even born yet. But saw me as a child playing with my sisters, doll babies, You know how girls put their mama's clothes on and play, like they grown? Like she saw all of this, you know. But yet and still she allowed it. She allowed it to happen. She didn't stop it, you know what I'm saying? So also also like cooking, cooking and cleaning, things typically, there was a dog that came by. Like cooking and cleaning, typical things like, that a woman would do. My mom was training me to do that. That's why I'm a good cook, because I got it from my mom and she taught me how to cook with her. And, that kind of thing. So I remember being at the age of 17, right? And at this time, me and my mom, I had left her church. I was going to another church. And I told her one day, we was in the car, I never forget it. We was on I'm not used to being out here in this nature, so bugs and everything trying to attack me, y'all. That's why y'all see me looking around and everything. But it's funny. We was going to different churches, right? And so I was 17, and so I was talking to my mom. I said, "Mom, we didn't have to talk. We was on Vermont Avenue in her car. I never forget it. I said, Mom, you know what, Mom? I think I'm gay. You know what I'm saying? I'm having these thoughts about guys, and all this. And then I went on to tell her about, about my growing up. I was playing with dolls and dresses and stuff with my sisters. That's not how a guy supposed to be. I said, I think I'm gay. And my mom was like, nah, boy, you ain't gay. You ain't gay. That's how you gonna grow out of that. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. So she encouraged that behavior, right? Even throughout my upbringing years. And I know that pissed my dad off, seeing that. But I felt like now as a man, a grown man, looking back, he should have did more as far as stepping in. Nah, you're not gonna have him cleaning this and cleaning that or cooking it here. He gonna be with me. So he failed me in that regard, because she was nurturing me, she was grooming me as if you would a daughter, and didn't correct the behavior. Back to the scripture, train up a child while they're young. Now thank God I'm not in drag and all that kind of junk. I didn't go that way. But I'm saying this was me, and you see this in your son and you letting it happen. But my mom also said too, oh boy, don't worry about that, man. My brothers did that too. And I already told you about one of her brothers. We ain't gonna talk about. I'm gonna just leave that alone. But yeah. So I just wanted to touch bases on that before I get into this lesson here. That you don't need to do that, right? Okay. Now back to the main lesson. So as I was saying earlier, that it is the father, the man is the provider, the main responsible one. The woman is the helpmate. She's the helper man. Now, some of y'all because we in this new age thing, women's rights and this, and a lot of homes, you find where it's single parents, or you maybe have where the woman is the breadwinner. But I'm just gonna tell y'all, and I don't know how y'all gonna take this, but that's not how it was designed in nature. In nature, it was designed for the husband, the man, to take care of his wife in all regards. That's how it was designed, and his wife is to help him. So this whole 50-50 and all that, it sound good, but that's not the nature of things. Now I know it don't look that way sometimes, depending on the circumstances. Like I said, single parents or whatever, but that's how it's supposed to be. Okay. So I got some points here that I'm gonna go over. So point number one. Okay, let me before I go to the points. A lot of times, and I don't have kids, I'm not a parent, whatever, but God gave me this, man. He gave it to me heavy this morning on download, and I gotta be obedient and tell it, right? So in training up a child while they're young, parents, it's like 50-50. They get half of it right, but a lot of times they get half of it wrong. It's like a 50-50 thing. And in my lesson or class today, you're gonna see how they get half wrong and half right. You're gonna see it because I'm gonna give some examples of my own family, how they got it right and how they got it wrong. And then hopefully you can take that and learn from that, you know, when you have children, this, that, and the third. All right. So point number one, my dad taught me that as a man, it is your responsibility to be the provider for yourself and your family. Okay? So I just went over that, and that's by design. That's how God designed it to be. Point number two, he also taught me that once your sons become men, that responsibility now falls on them. So once your sons become men, it's their responsibility to take care of their own self and their own houses, and you to train up your child in that fashion. Okay? And point number three, he taught me that as a man, until your daughters, listen to this now, he taught me as a man, until your daughters are married, and you know, it is your responsibility as their father to provide for them. So if you got a daughter, she can be 28 years old. If she ain't got no man, no husband, now she may want to go out there and live her home house, whatever, but in how I'm expect like this, you that's your daughter. She ain't got no husband. It is your responsibility as her daddy to take care of her. Now, same don't apply to a son. No man have no business taking care of another grown man. That's not how God had it, lined out. So how my dad, how he, you know, taught me that, instilled that in me, I got a story. I remember coming up, and my dad, man, my dad had his faults, but he had his good parts too. Like, he really did. So my dad, he's a provider, right? So it's 6 kids, it's 6 of us. My baby brother and my sister, they was too young. At one point, my baby sister wasn't even born, so I'm not including them in this thing. It's just me and my three sisters. The other 2 brothers, they was too young. So my dad, he was a provider. So like when we went to school, my dad gave us lunch money. Now all y'all know, I don't know about now, but back in the 80s, school lunch it may have been 80 cents, if that. I'm for real. It may have been 80 cents. School lunch. You know, because my parents made too much money because we couldn't get free lunch. You know, so up into like from elementary until junior high. How I'm saying this? No, not junior high. Elementary school, we took our own lunch sometimes, or they gave us money to buy lunch. And then middle school to high school, my dad just gave us money. We didn't take lunch. So I only took lunch when I was in elementary, but middle school and high school, my daddy gave us the money to take lunch. Like I told you, school lunch ain't nothing but like 80 cents, man. And mind you, got 4 kids in high school at the same time. But anyway, my dad used to give us anywhere between $3 and $5 a piece every day for lunch. So you got 4 kids, that's $20 a day, every day for 5 days. So that's what he did every day. He gave us this. But I'm gonna tell you what happened. I started working at the age of 15. Y'all gotta excuse me, because this is a part, so people are coming around and this, that, and the third. I think they gang stalkers, but that's a whole nother conversation, because I was here by myself. Then all of a sudden, everybody here. But that's a whole nother conversation. So I started working my first job when I was 15. And when I first started working, so let me do this. In DC, they didn't have the school buses like they do like in Maryland. When we stayed in Maryland for a short time, maybe 3 years, 3.5 years. But the main time we spent was in DC. So in DC, public schools, there wasn't no city bus. There wasn't no school bus. We called the city bus. So I told you already, my dad gave us lunch money. He also gave us money for the bus. So in DC at the time, what you did, you would buy like tokens. They had student tokens, right? But you had to buy it. Or you get a flash pass and all that kind of stuff. So not only he giving his kids $5 a day for lunch, he gave us money also for transportation. But when I turned 15 and started working, my daddy was like, you're a man now. I ain't giving you no lunch money. I ain't giving you no bus money. You're a man now. You make it happen. Now, that did not sit well with me, y'all. Do you want to know why that didn't sit well with me? Because my sisters was working too. And my daddy still gave them lunch money and still gave them transportation. Why? Because that's his daughters and that's his responsibility to take care of your daughters as a man. So he still gave them money. Even though they was working. He did that. So, now just like I said, we get it right. The men get it right sometimes, and sometimes they get it wrong. Now I'm not a daughter, so I can't talk about how the mother and the daughter situation, but I can talk about the son-father dynamic. All right. So now I'm gonna go over some points on how he got it wrong. And see, hosts, when y'all hear these things, you all men out there that got children, whatever, if y'all doing this stuff, y'all better get it right. All right. So, my dad did not teach me how to tie my shoes. Right? So, my Uncle John taught me how to tie my shoes. Yes, he's a man. He's my uncle. But I got a dad at home. Right? I have a daddy. Why is another man teaching his son how to tie his shoes? All right. How to tie a tie. The pastor at my mama's church, he taught me how to tie a tie. I got a dad at home. Why another man teaching his son how to tie a tie when he got a dad at home? Now, my daddy didn't go to church often. He went rare, that Easter and maybe Christmas. But he wore suits and ties. So he knew how to tie a tie. Why you ain't teaching your son how to tie a tie? Why the preacher at the church teaching your son how to tie a tie? That's your responsibility. Okay. Y'all know this, I'm old school, so the saying was birds of, no, not, I'm about to say birds of a feather flock together. That ain't the saying I want to say, y'all. I want to say the one, the birds and the bees. Okay? I got a dad at home. Why is my mama teaching her son about the birds and the bees? Now, I get it. You got single mamas out there. For your single mamas, you got brothers, you got a daddy, you got men, close men on your job. That's not your responsibility to teach your son about the birds and the bees. That's a man's job. You teach your daughter, but not your son. All right. Another one here. Proper grooming, i.e. haircuts, taking baths, showers, deodorant. You a man, you a daddy, you got a boy. It's your job to make sure your son get his hair cut. Why is the mama taking the boy to the barbershop to get a haircut when you got a whole daddy at the house? That ain't her responsibility. Also, baths and showers. I remember I forgot what age, I was young, when my mom was teaching me from, how to, do showers. Because, went from the, now, a little side note. I had an phobia of water going over my head. When I was like 5 years old, I liked to drown. It was a horrific event. We was at the park. It was a whole mess. We even got pictures of it in my mama's photo album. So ever since then, I was always scared of water. I wasn't scared to take a bath. But as far as water going over my head, because I was in the water drowning, I was, drowning. And my cousin, Michael Griffin, let me give him his credit, because he throw it in my face every time he see me. Boy, I saved your life. I remember at his mom's funeral, man. This is his mama's funeral, man. His mama's funeral, man. And, it's his mama. And he had it hard, man. And we had the graveside service, and he wasn't getting nobody car. Because he rode there in the family car, but he didn't want to get back in the car with them. He out in the woods. He just acting like a donkey. And God led me. I drove the car over there by him. I got the car. I said, Mike, man, come on, man. Come on, man. Get in the car with me, man. Come on, get in the car with me. Come on, man. He got in the car with me. He said, David, I need to stop by the store, buy me a case of beer. You know I saved your life. That boy always throw that up in my face that he saved me when I was drowning. But that was Mike. You know, he saved me when I was drowning. So I had an phobia of like water over me. I mean, it was bad. And I remember being in the shower screaming and hollering. I probably was like 7 or 8. My mama trying to teach me how to take a shower. I got a dad at home. Why my mama teaching her son how to take a shower when a grown man does? That's his job. Also, the wearing deodorant and stuff. When you got little kids, you see them wear the deodorant, whatever. I got a dad at home. Why in the hell my mama teaching me how to wear the deodorant and stuff? That's my dad's job. You got a daddy there. The mama, she teach her daughter about, hygiene and menstruals. That's her job. It's the daddy's job to train up that boy. So that's them parts where my daddy, he failed. He failed me at them parts right there. So I just hope with you all that don't happen to y'all, right? And so let me tell you this too. I'm reading my notes, y'all, so I want to make sure I cover everything, on here. So y'all got what's called effeminate and feminine, right? So, you may have guys who are feminine, right? They're just feminine traits, right? Or effeminate ways. They may be a gay guy. They may not even be homosexual gay. But they got traits of like a woman would have, right? And a lot of it started in the home. And they didn't see it in their house. So as a man, they don't know certain things. It's sad, but it's true. It started in the house. So I'm going to give you some examples of that. All right? And I'm going to give like little scenarios. And I'm using like, little names, people's names, but it's they fake names. Hey, Jim, do you got a miter saw? Now, I'm the neighbor. Jim, my neighbor, right? Jim got a whole family. And my name David. Jim, hey, Jim, you got a miter saw? I don't know, man. Ask my wife. Why I got to ask your wife, do y'all got a miter saw? Okay. Hey, Jim, where you take your son to get his haircuts at, man? I'm trying to find a barbershop, take my son. I don't know. My wife take him. Why is your wife taking that boy to get his haircut when you got a whole man at the house? That's your job. All right? Look, a former gay person online trying to tell a man how to be a man. Hey, I'm just getting it from God. I'm just reading it, man. Y'all know I'm telling the truth. But yeah, stuff like that. Don't hand off your responsibility to another man when you got a son there. You the man. That's your job, man. Take care of your son. Some other ways too that my daddy failed my mama. Okay? My mama didn't get her driver's license until I probably was about 9. I think I was 9 years old, maybe 10, somewhere between 9 and 10, that my mama got her driver's license, right? Okay. If you got a wife and she got to go get grocery, or my Louisiana family, she got to go make grocery, ain't nowhere in the world your wife got to go find a way, call her brother, catch the bus to get to the grocery store when you got a whole husband there with a car. And he's sitting there on his behind watching TV. Or in this day and age, playing the PlayStation 5. What world is that? Man, you gonna get off your butt and go take your wife to the grocery store to get groceries? And my dad used to do that. We on the bus. Ain't that some crap? We on the bus now. Or we walking. Getting groceries. When he got a whole car there. I remember as a kid, kids be playing in the house and all that stuff. And we had like a chest of drawer on the side of our bed. And me and my sister playing, jumping in the bed, falling back, jump in the bed, fall back. And so I fell to the side, man. And the corner of that chest drawer hit me on my head. Or I hit it, whatever. Man, it looked worse than what it was. But it was still needed to be, I still need to be seen by a doctor. And to make matters worse, y'all, I had on a white t-shirt, okay? And we dramatic with this thing. I had on a white t-shirt. Man, blood was everywhere. I mean, all over me, all that. So I think I was it wasn't so much about the actual sore on my head. I think what really scared me was all the blood, and it was on my white. Man, I'm screaming and hollering. I'm running in the living room, screaming and hollering with my mom and daddy. They see the blood, but they don't know what's wrong. So my mama take me in the bathroom, and she realizes it's on my head, and she washing my head and putting a towel on there and all that, right? And it won't stop bleeding. There's a lot of blood coming out. Do y'all know my daddy sitting there watching the news would not get off his ass and take me to the hospital? Mama said, I got to take him to the hospital, JC. I can't stop this bleeding. I ain't taking him. I ain't going. My mama had to catch a cab to take me to Children's Hospital. And I had to get stitches in my head from that incident. Now, I ain't got to tell you what was wrong with that. So, that's the lesson today, y'all. God wants the men in these houses. Y'all got to step up. A lot of, there's a lot y'all ain't doing. Y'all getting it right sometimes, but there's a lot of y'all ain't getting it right. And when I say God put that in my spirit, so heavy, man. Because this morning when I got up, I just was in deep thought, about, my past life and growing. I guess from talking about it the day before in my lesson, and I really hadn't talked about it too much, the child trauma and stuff, I hadn't really talked about that. So when I talked about it with y'all, it lingered with me. So when I got up this morning, it was still with me. And then I got to thinking about my growing up and the things that we was doing and how I was like, you know what? My mama groomed me to be gay and she didn't even know it. She groomed me to be a little girl. Teaching me how to make cakes, cleaning up, going shopping. My mama used to leave my sister's house on Saturdays. I was thinking it was because, like, as a child, and it is what it is. I'm patting myself on the back. As a little child, I was not that child that, how children harass their mamas or dad. Mama, I want this when you went in the store. Mama want this, mama that, mama that. I never was that child. Never. I was always appreciative of whatever I got. It was rare that I asked them for something. I'm just telling the truth. It was rare. Like, I remember asking for a bike. And I was so happy I got that bike. Oh, my God. That's a moment. My dad told me to ride a bike. I was so happy. That bike. I'm getting emotional, y'all. My daddy did, so I'm getting emotional sometimes. But I was so happy. It was like, when I saw that bike by that tree, the hell with all the other gifts, man. I got that bike, and me and my daddy went outside, and we rode up and down the street. Because I got what I wanted, and I rarely asked for anything when I was a kid. I remember that. I don't know why I get emotional, but I guess because my dad, he dead or whatever. But that's what that was. I remember that day so vivid. It was like I didn't even care about the other gifts, man. When I saw that bike, and my daddy got me that bike, that was it. But yeah, man, it's really important. It's sad that you got single mamas. And you know what? You know how they're incarcerating a lot of our brothers? I think that's by design, man, because they don't want the dynamic of the husband and wife in the black family. Because it is real crucial, man. A man supposed to be in the house to provide, and a wife. I know we're in this age where, some women make more money than a man and all that. And see, that's that. Man, it's sad because my sister, we had a conversation one time, and I never put her business out there, but she make good. She made pretty good money, right? And I said, Shell, what's going to happen when you ever get married, man? I ain't call a man. Do you think you can have an issue like submitting to your husband? Because you're very financially stable. You got, my sister, you know how people move like me. You move out your house, you probably go, you in college, or you stay in an apartment, and that girl went straight from my mom and dad's house to her own house. And now she got another house. That's the only place. Our parents' house, her own house, then she just moved 2 years ago. If I tell you how many apartments, how many sofas I done slept on, I done had, but it's all right, though. But yeah, though, that thing, man, man, you gotta step up. Y'all gotta stay. You gotta save our family, save our race, save our kids, save our boys. You know, you got these heterosexual boys out here, but they weak. They weak minded. They weak. They not strong like a man's supposed to be. Thank God for the military. I joined the military, and the military is what groomed me a lot to be a man. But yeah, man, step up. It's time. It's been time. Now, it's a beautiful part, but y'all see the sweat on me? I am hot, hot, hot. I'm about to go get back in my car. Y'all be great, man. Have a good day on purpose. I don't even know what time it is, but buy somebody lunch today just because. Just buy somebody lunch, man. All right, bye-bye.